Welcome to Dallas Yogafest 2025 on behalf of JK Yoga and the Radhakrishna Temple of Dallas. It is my humble privilege today to welcome for a special keynote session world-renowned spiritual leader, best-selling author, mind management authority, and master yogi, Swami Mukundananda ji. Swamiji is a beloved spiritual figure for millions of followers worldwide. He is the founder of over 86 spiritual organizations, temples, and centers worldwide. Some of these include JK Yoga India, JK Yoga USA, Radhakrishna Temple of Dallas, Radhakrishna Temple of Bay Area, Radhakrishna Temple of North Carolina, and Radhakrishna Mandir, Cuttack. He has also established several ashrams across India. Swamiji's dream project is Jagadguru Kripalu University in Banara, India. The university aims to provide education in both spiritual and material sciences for the betterment of humanity. Additionally, Swamiji is a Vedic scholar and a perfect yogi who personally embodies the spirit of yoga, seeing unity in all beings and remaining ever blissful in every circumstances. He has graciously created JK Yoga Prem Yoga, a system that combines Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga for a fulfilling life and overall well-being. The Prem Yoga Teachers Training Program allows individuals to become certified yoga instructors, transforming their own lives and the lives of others. JK Yoga is one of the few organizations who offer International Yoga Alliance RYT certified 200 hours and 300-hour teachers training programs. Annually, Swamiji tours multiple cities in India and the USA, lecturing at free life transformation programs attended by thousands. He also conducts sublime spiritual retreats, guiding souls to progress in the Bhakti Yoga. As an IIT, IIM alumnus, Swamiji's unique ability to present ancient Vedic wisdom lucidly, relevant to the modern context, has inspired individuals from all walks of life. His expert command over Sanskrit, Hindi, and English leaves listeners astounded and transfixed. In addition to several best-selling books, Swamiji is the author of a widely acclaimed commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. Recently, he has also composed a commentary on the Ishavasya Upanishad, encapsulating eternal wisdom for modern times for the benefit of all spiritual seekers. Over the past 3 decades, Swamiji's humble demeanor, compassionate nature, profound spiritual knowledge, and divine aura have inspired and transformed millions of people worldwide, from the tiny villages of Odisha to the technological nerve center of the world, Silicon Valley, California. He inspires devotees to live and serve by the slogan, "Be good, do good, feel good." By the unconditional grace of God and Guru, it is our honor to witness Swami Mukundananda's gracious divine presence in our midst and a special opportunity to hear his discourse on the occasion of International Yoga Day. My humble obeisance at your lotus feet and deep gratitude to you, Swamiji, for showering your mercy upon us. Please join me in welcoming with a standing ovation JK Yoga founder Swami Mukundananda. I request Dr. Sunil Modi and Triptiji to offer garland to Swamiji on behalf of all the devotees. I humbly request Swamiji to enlighten us with his divine message.
To all the wonderful yoga enthusiasts, yoga teachers, health and wellness practitioners and experts, and all the wonderful divine souls who have joined us in person and online. Heartiest welcome to the 11th edition of the Dallas Yogafest, which coincides with the International Day of Yoga as proclaimed by the United Nations. We feel particularly blessed that our function is graced today by many eminent dignitaries of the DFW region, and in fact some who have even joined us in person all the way from India to celebrate the art and science of yoga. Yoga is a gift of the ancient world to the modern. It was bestowed on humankind by enlightened seers and sages for us to achieve health, well-being, inner harmony, grace, peace, and unity at all levels of our personality. The Hatha Yoga Pradipika describes that the first teacher of yoga was Bhagavan Shiv, who taught 8.4 million kinds of postures to Mother Parvati, who thereby became the first student of yoga. Since then, in the modern world, yoga has been embraced by peoples of all nations and cultures, and is being practiced for holistic well-being, inner growth, harmony, and peace. Today, we shall be discussing yoga for harmonizing the body, mind, and soul with the universe. Strictly speaking, yoga is a journey for manifesting the inner divinity of our soul. It takes us away from the beastliness of the lower self to the godliness of the higher self. The perfection of yoga is when the mind, disciplined by austerity, meditation, devotion, prayer, and grace, flows incessantly to the divine. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit root word yuj, which means to unite. And hence, union is at the essence of yoga. Very often we fall into the illusion of being separated from the rest of the world and independent of it. However, the recent COVID-19 pandemic, which began in one city of one nation, and within the space of a few weeks spread around the world, dispelled the illusion that we are not together and made us realize that despite the astonishing diversity of this world, there is also a thread of unity. As regards to health and well-being, yoga takes a holistic approach and addresses 5 dimensions of our personality: the physical, the vital energy, the mental, the intellectual, and the bliss dimension. These are referred to as koshas or sheaths, and encased in all of them is the real self, the spirit, the soul, the Atman. So the journey of yoga begins from the physical dimension. This body of ours is such an astonishing miracle. You may look on it in terms of its limbs, the hands, feet, etc. Doctors who were participating in the health fair and have joined us here may describe it in terms of its organs. Biologists would say it consists of cells and tissues. Chemists would describe it in terms of atoms and molecules. And quantum physicists would say it is vibrating patterns of energy with 99.99% empty space. These atoms were fashioned billions of years ago in the stars, and they are part of us today. The astonishing thing about this body is that it constantly regenerates itself. If you place a slice of bread out in the open, in 24 hours it grows stale because it is subject to oxidation, humidification, and the attack of fungi. A limestone quarry is beaten down by wind and rain and crumbles with time. Your and my body is subject to the same vagaries of oxidation, weather, fungi, and the attack of germs. But it sustains itself because it's constantly regenerating. Our bones don't just hold calcium. They circulate it, they receive it from the blood and release it into the blood. Science informs us that the entire bone gets regenerated in 3 months. And your skin requires only 1 month to completely change. Your stomach lining is transformed and made new every 5 days. Such is the astonishing miracle. We are taking it for granted. You eat a chapati, and in 24 hours it's transformed into blood and flesh and bones. But do you realize, if machines were to do the same, to transform chapatis into all of this, you would require a huge factory bigger than the campus of this temple. And we don't even know if human beings have that technology available as yet. So, for this body, the yogic science reconciles two apparently contradictory viewpoints. One is that of the materialists, who say that everything existing is matter and its modifications. There is no spirit or soul. An extreme perspective of this was presented in the Indian culture by Charvak, who said, Yavat jivet sukham jivet trinam kritva ghritam bhaved bhasmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamanam kuta. After you die, you will cease to exist. So this life is all you have. Eat, drink, and be merry. If you get happiness from ghee, beg, borrow, or steal, but get the ghee and enjoy. A modern day presentation of the same idea is YOLO. Y-O-L-O. You only live once. So if you only live once, then why bother about anybody noting your karmas, etc.? Do whatever you wish. That will give you happiness. This is the material viewpoint. On the other end of the spectrum is the spiritual viewpoint, which says that the body is perishable and your soul will continue eternally. Prioritize matters of the soul, not of the body. Some spiritualists, they take this to the extreme. And they say that all works of bodily maintenance unnecessarily cloud our consciousness with worldliness, and hence they are to be neglected. However, the yogi adopts the wisdom from the Ishavasya Upanishad, which is the foundational Upanishad of the entire stack. Its 9th mantra is so insightful in declaring, Andham tama pravishanti ye vidyam upasate. Those who adopt only material science shall attain darkness. Now this is quite evident. People who are apparently so successful materially, in the absence of spiritual technology for purifying the mind, they are subject to stress, anxiety, greed, desire, pride, and peace eludes them. However, the same mantra's second line states, Tato bhuya ivate tamo yau vidyaya gwamrata. Those who only practice spiritual science will attain a greater darkness. And that creates a lot of raised eyebrows. Why should the practice of spirituality alone result in great darkness? Because sharira madhyam khalu dharma sadhanam. Even to practice spirituality, your body is the vehicle. When the body malfunctions, you are not even able to remember the names of the divine. There's a story in the Chandogya Upanishad about this, where the Guru related to his disciple Shvetaketu, Ahar Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhe. My child, if you eat pure foods, your body and mind will get purified. And the disciple questioned, how can there be a link between our food and the mind? The Guru asked him to conduct an experiment and stop eating for 15 days. After 15 days, Guruji said, recite the mantras you had memorized. Shvetaketu could remember none of them. Guruji said, have your food now. Tell me the mantras. They all came streaming back in the mind. So he explained, look, the food that you eat gets divided into 3 parts. The grossest is expelled. The subtler one goes to form your body, and the subtlest forms your mind. So, to procure food, to grow food, to purchase it, to cook it, we need the help of material science. And that is why, if any spiritualist denies its necessity, they are making a mistake. The Bhagavad Gita explains, Natyashnatastu yogosti na chaikanta manashnata na jati swapna shilasya jagruto naiva charjuna. Arjun, if you eat too much or too little, you cannot be a yogi. If you sleep too little or too much, you won't achieve success in yoga. Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Extremes are always dangerous. As I was at the health fair, one of the doctors was telling me that they are helping youngsters improve their eating habits. I said, you mean those who are addicted to eating too much? And she said, quite the reverse, Swamiji. Some youngsters, in the name of reducing their weight, go on to extreme diets. And that leads to kidney malfunction, liver malfunction, etc. So the yogi requires the need, understands that both material science and spiritual science have their place in your life. Dve vidye veditavye parachaiva paracha. Material science will help you understand external nature and harness its forces for utilization of maintaining your body. Spiritual science will help you comprehend your inner nature and help you manifest the intrinsic divinity of your soul. There is no need to contradict science and religion. See them, in fact, as 2 bona fide branches of human knowledge. So, for the maintenance of the body, the yogic system presents to us powerful exercises and postures, where the twists, the flexes, etc., they go deep within to massage and tone up our organs. Alongside with that, we have the aerobic kind of postures for maintaining and toning up the muscle mass. We have got balancing postures which are so important for seniors in avoiding falls. And there are also specialized inverted postures for nourishing and maintaining the brain. After that, yoga addresses the vital energy through breathing exercises. Now remember, the breath that you ingest, it is assimilated through your lungs into the bloodstream, and the oxygen is carried and deposited in the plasma surrounding 37 trillion of your cells. Each cell is alive. It is having trillions of metabolic reactions where the oxygen serves as a fuel. And the waste of that reaction, the carbon dioxide, is carried in the backstream and you exhale it out. The breathing exercises address micro health, which means your cellular health. And there are also specialized techniques like the uprising breath, the ujjayi for toning up the thyroid, and the Brahmari for vibrating and servicing your brain and preventing dementia. After that, the 5 kosha model looks into the mind. This mind is such an important dimension of your personality. Your happiness and your distress is not a consequence of your externals, but a result of the thoughts you harbor within. And that is why the philosopher, writer John Milton hit it on the head when he said the mind is a place of its own, and in itself can make heaven out of hell and hell out of heaven. The Panchadashi states, Man eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. The mind is the cause of bondage, but the mind can also be the cause of liberation. I was speaking to a rheumatologist, and she said, Swamiji, you quote the connection between harboring resentment and arthritis. I said, Johns Hopkins University has published so many researches which show the link, where there's a direct correlation between the pain being experienced in arthritis and the harboring of resentment. Likewise, spiritualists, they inform us, if you harbor the sentiment of grief, it will sap your body of energy. If stress is a habitual thing within you, the consequence will be, first of all, things like diabetes, but then even more severe ones like fibromyalgia. In fact, some people, I was just researching on the internet today, they strongly believe the connection between asthma and lamentation, harboring of suffocating baggage of emotions, including guilt from things of the past. However, the reverse is also true. You can literally think your way to health and wellness. One cardiologist, he related his experience. The bypass surgery is a complex procedure, but it is performed 500,000 times a year around the world. This particular surgeon, in the procedure, the main vein to the heart is clamped and connected to a pump. And then the body receives the blood through the pump, while the heart is brought to a standstill. After the procedure is over, the vein is then reconnected to the heart. And ideally, as the blood begins flowing, the heart receiving it starts pumping again. If the heart doesn't get into action, the doctor provides a little massage. If that also doesn't work, some electric current is provided. Now, the doctor did all of this, and the patient's heart was not responding. And finally, the doctor whispered in her ear, Mary, I have done all I could. You need to tell your heart to start pumping. And as he turned away and was walking, he heard the bump, bump, bump. The heart had got into action. It's possible your heart too has been slightly affected by the hurts of the world, or some adversity that hampered your spirit, or a failure that made you despondent about the future. Well, it's as simple as speaking to yourself. Tell your heart to rejuvenate itself with wellness, with enthusiasm, with positivity, and with hope. Even while listening to my lecture, you can just choose to think the grace of the divine is flowing. Choose to think I am happy and healthy and well. And your thoughts will have a salubrious impact upon you. The problem is, psychologists tell us that 70% of our self-talk is negative. Now imagine its impact on our holistic well-being. That is why the need for training the mind. John Glenn, the first American astronaut into space. Now he went up in a little spaceship the size of maybe a Ford motor car. And he describes that when he was up there 150 miles from the earth, and he went 3 times around the earth, he said, for the first 24 hours, my major challenge was to keep my heart under control and reduce its beat from 100 beats per second to normalcy. So hence the need for training the mind in any field of excellence, whether material or spiritual. Martina Navratilova has arguably been the #1 women's tennis player in history. She spent full 332 weeks as #1 on the ATP rankings, which means more than 6 years at a stretch. And she won 18 Grand Slam titles, including 9 Wimbledons, 31 major double titles, and 10 major mixed doubles to make a total of 59. At the age of 43, she was still playing competitive tennis. Journalists asked her how she did it. I like 2 of her answers, and I'm sure you will too. The first was, the ball does not know my age. And the second is more relevant to our discussion. She said, every match is played in the 6 inches of space between your 2 ears. It's all a mind game. Well, Maharishi Patanjali, who wrote the famous Yoga Darshan, the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, thousands of years ago, 40 seconds long, is there are 3 players dressed in white and 3 dressed in black. The white players are passing a basketball in their midst, and the black players are also passing a basketball in their midst. And you are informed to keep a track on how many times the white players pass the ball. But because it's a distracting environment, you need to focus carefully to keep a count. And then at the end of the video, the question is asked, how many times was it passed? And of course, most people would say, yes, I was able to keep count 16 times. And then the question comes, did you notice the gorilla? So, gorilla? What gorilla? Well, factually, halfway through the video, a gorilla, a man dressed in a gorilla mask all over the body, walks in right to the center of the video and thumps his chest and stays there for 5 seconds and goes away. A majority of the people did not notice the gorilla because their neural pathways dumped the gorilla out and just focus on the ball being passed. So this is a phenomenon of perceptional blindness, where we think we see. We don't realize the limitations of our perceptions. And that is why the same situation is perceived so differently by people. One person has a car accident and is cursing God, cursing the other guy, cursing life and cursing his destiny for being in the situation. The other person in a similar accident is perceiving the situation differently. Oh my God, I came so close to death and I am still alive to tell the story. I am so blessed and fortunate. Two people, one has a bad boss and feels that everything is wrong about the situation, and the second says this is an opportunity to grow from within in tolerance, perseverance, kindness, causeless love. This guy will bring out the best in me spiritually. So, one person has an ADHD child and says, why me? The other person has an ADHD child and says, here's an opportunity to practice selfless agape love. Look at how differently they are perceiving things. So, how can we enhance our perceptions? I wish I could perceive that there was a lot more time left. My perception will not change things. Are you sure? So, it is this difference in perceptions makes such a huge difference to our inner state of happiness. It's like the example of a little girl who was working on her homework, and she had spent an hour on it, and mother said, "Beti, what are you doing with so much of attention today?" She said, "Mommy, I've been given the homework to write down negative gratitude." What does that mean? Negative things in my life for which I am grateful. So the mother said that, "What have you written? Grateful for negative things?" She had written, "I am grateful for the forthcoming final exams, because it means soon the summer break will begin. I am grateful for the scoldings I receive from mommy and papa, because it means they care for me. It is harsh love. I am thankful to God for the bitter medicine that I need to take, because it helps me get all right." Now the mother had her own struggles. She said, "I need double helpings of the same." She went to her study table and said, "I am so thankful for the taxes I have to pay, because it means I have a solid income. I am grateful for this big house I have to clean, because it means I have a home. I am thankful for cleaning up after my family, because it means I have a family." Now what changed out here was just a difference in perceptions. And that is why William James, subjective perception of the objective reality. That is why William Shakespeare, not only was he expert in words, but he had deep insights into psychology and even philosophy. And this sentence of his proves it, where he says there's nothing good or bad in this world, but thinking makes it so. Now, can we do that? So beneficial, right? You find reasons to feel happy, to feel blessed, to change the way you look at things, the simple technique of positive reframing. Here, the wisdom of the Upanishads is utilized by aspiring yogis. The Ishavasya Upanishad, it informs us in its very first mantra, Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyan jagat. It says the whole world is pervaded by the divine. If you are unable to see it, the defect is in your perception. Those who purified themselves, the divinity and perfection of creation came into their perception. And hence Vasudeva Sarvamiti, the Bhagavad Gita says, Siya Ramamay Sabajagajani, the Ramayan says, Jit dekho tit shamamay hai, the gopis say, Purusha evetam sarvam, the Purusha Suktam states. Now we move on to the fifth dimension of our personality, which is the bliss sheath. And to connect with the bliss, the yogi realizes three paths. That divinity, we have a name, Satchidanand, for it. Sat, Chit, and Anand. The nature of Sat is works. The nature of Chit is knowledge. The nature of Anand is devotion, love. And that is why there are three principal pathways of yoga. Margastrayo me vikhyata moksha prapta unagadhipa karma yogo jnana yogo bhakti yoga cha sattamaha. One is karma yoga, the second is jnana yoga, and the third is bhakti yoga. Three ways of connecting with the divine to experience that ocean of bliss for ourselves. Interestingly, the Ishavasya Upanishad, it beautifully synthesizes all three of these. And the yogi adopts the perspective from there and realizes that materialistic consciousness is making us think, I am the Lord of all I have, and it's meant for my enjoyment. This can be easily corrected to spiritual consciousness, which informs us that everything is pervaded by the divine, created by the divine, and belongs to the divine, and meant for the pleasure of the divine. So every work that I do should be for the pleasure of the divine. And then we don't need to separate our worship from the daily works. Every work becomes a puja, it becomes an offering. And that is karma yoga, where you are working. You don't have to do yoga only on the mat. You are practicing your profession, but holding your mind in loving union with the divine. That is karma yoga. And the second, the Ishavasya Upanishad provides yogis with sacred transcendental wisdom to help us address the big questions. Why did this universe come into being? Who am I? Why did I come here? Who created this? What is my purpose in any case? Now, not only do we get this knowledge, it must be converted into beliefs, values, and perspectives. For that, the yogic system provides us with a 3-step process called Shravan, hearing, Manan, contemplating, and Nididhyasan, deciding with the intellect. And then we come to Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of love. A yogi's heart is in union with all of creation. And hence, the statement of the Upanishads, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Ayam Nijah Paroveti Ganhana Laghuchetasam, Udara Charitanam Tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The Maha Upanishad states, those who think in terms of mine and yours are of small intellect. Those with the broad, all-embracing vision see the whole world as their family. And when that becomes the vision of the yogi, there is nothing but love. We see the Supreme in everyone. There's the story of the CEO of a non-profit organization who went to a guru and said, we are having too many quarrels in our midst. Everybody is fighting with everybody else. Guruji, please tell me a solution. Guruji said, the problem is that there is an avatar in your midst. Really? Yes, and you are mistreating him. So who is the avatar? Well, the avatar hides himself. Now the CEO returned and said, who could be the avatar? Everybody has got defects. But then the avatar may be having a veneer of defects just to hide himself. So he called a meeting of all the employees and told them, there's an avatar amongst us, but we don't know who he is. And that changed the perspective of everyone. When they thought any of these people could be God, their whole behavior changed. That is the power of love. The Ishavasya Upanishad in its 6th mantra says, those who see me, the Supreme in all, and all in the Supreme, they never hate anyone. And that love inspires people for the biggest sacrifices. Once, a girl in her middle school needed blood after an accident. And the only one whose blood group was matching was a younger brother who was in primary school. So the doctor informed him, your sister needs your blood. Are you willing to give? His face became ashen. He thought for a moment and he said yes. So he was made to lie down by the side of the sister and his blood was taken. 1 unit of it. After that, the syringe was pulled out. He said, say, doctor, when will I begin to die? And the doctor realized that he had thought if he donates his blood to his sister, he will die. But he did not hesitate. He was willing to die for his sister whom he loved. That fine act of sacrifice is brought about by love. That love is the great harmonizer in your body. We have got Ayurveda expert who's come from India and will be addressing us. Now, the Ayurvedic science talks of the three humors in the body, kapha, pitta and vata, and how to balance them. But all Ayurvedic texts tell us that if you can cultivate pure love in your heart, all kapha, pitta and vata will be balanced. And this is how the yogic journey, which starts from the physical, it ends in divine love for all of creation. Thank you all very much.
What a powerful keynote on the occasion of International Day of Yoga celebration. Thank you so much, Swamiji. Let's give a one big round of applause again. We are going to request Swamiji to reveal the book. Recently, Ishavasya Upanishad commentaries. Swamiji's book has been launched, and I'm going to request Swamiji to please reveal the book launch and the book.
Radhe Radhe. The Ishavasya Upanishad, as I said, is considered the foundational Upanishad of the entire stack of Upanishads. It is also one of the smallest, with 18 plus 1, 19 mantras in all. And it beautifully harmonizes in the yogic spirit material science with spiritual science, pursuance of the divine with worldly works, karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga. So the commentary was published just a couple of weeks ago. Happy to be unveiling it for the first time in Dallas.
So we are also launching Ishavasya Upanishad study course on our Bhagavad Gita Krishna Bhakti app that is going to be launched on Monday. A beautiful systematic study of the entire 19 mantras. Every week there will be activities for 6 days, and then you go into week 2, module 2, and continue your journey for the detailed, deep study, and look forward to this free download of Bhagavad Gita Krishna Bhakti app on your mobile, and then sign up for the course. It's completely free, and I'm sure you will enjoy the journey through that. So with that, we are going to move on to the program. I'm going to request Madanji to come up here on the stage. We had a confirmation from the mayor of city of Allen to be present today, but due to circumstances, he's unable to attend. However, he has sent proclamation, and I'm going to have Madanji read that and present that.
So this is from the Office of Mayor, City of Allen, proclamation. whereas JK Yog and the Radhakrishna Temple of Dallas proudly host Dallas Yogafest 2025 from June 20th to 22nd, bringing together citizens of Allen and the greater DFW community to participate in a free event focused on wellness and cultural enrichment. And whereas Dallas Yoga Fest empowers individuals to enhance their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being through time-honored practices such as yoga, breathing techniques, meditation, and principles of healthy living. And whereas the festival reflects the organizing institution's commitment to values of service, education, and community upliftment. And whereas the City of Allen commends JK Yog and the Radhakrishna Temple for their leadership in promoting a healthy, vibrant, and connected community. Now I'm reading it on behalf of the mayor. Now, therefore, I, Bain L. Brooks, Mayor of City of Allen, Collin County, Texas, do here proclaim Saturday 21st, 2025 as Dallas Yoga Fest Day in Allen, Texas. And I urge all citizens to take cognizance of this event and participate in the events related hitherto in this community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madanji. I'm going to request, we have many community leaders, dignitaries here present. We would like to express our gratitude. As I call your name, kindly come on stage to receive the token of appreciation and blessings from Swamiji. And also, once you, we will all stand one by one, and then at the end, we'll take a group photo. So as I call your names, kindly come up here on the stage. Request our volunteers to be here also to help out. So first, I'm going to have Vinayak ji from JET USA. Please come up here. We have a very nice working relationship with JET USA, and recently Chinnaji or Swamiji had just visited and graced the temple. We are so grateful for that. Please stay, please stay. Dr. Sunil Modi ji from BAPS. Again, wonderful relationship with Radhakrishna Temple and BAPS. It's like families working together. Urmil ji from Heartfulness. And we were so blessed to have Daji grace the temple and devotees last year. We have Amanda Campbell from Allen ISD Board of Trustees. Please come on stage. And Rebecca Kinnear, kindly join us here on the stage. Again, Allen ISD Board of Trustees. Rajesh Ravilisetti from Tapas, kindly join us. Dr. Harshvardhan ji, he is Dean of Panchkarma, joining us all the way from India, whose session is going to be after this Swamiji's keynote, and very, very blessed to have. He has traveled to USA just for Dallas Yoga Fest. Ranna Benjani, Board of Mahatma Gandhi Memorial and Board of Fort Worth Hindu Temple. Very happy to have her here today. Makranji from Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh. Jyoti ji from Virashaiva Samaj. Satya ji from Sangeet Bharati, kindly please join us. Balaji from AKM. Anandji from Amkent. Prayas Bhai from Sanskrit Bharti. Prayas Bhai is also a devotee, wonderful devotee, and does so much seva. Give everyone a big round of applause. All these organizations, truly we are blessed. Radha Krishna Temple is blessed to work with such community and serve together in so many ways. And without the support of all of them, we couldn't have done what we have been able to do together as a temple. So our heartfelt gratitude to each and every organization. I'm going to request a group picture. Everyone, please kindly come forward.